What's going on, everybody? Welcome to IndieQuest, a celebration of the indie and obscure. I'm one of your hosts, Joshy Mainquest, and I'm joined by Steve. How's it going?
Going fantastic. Got a fresh, tall Americano because we're recording this one way further away from my bedtime than we normally do, which means I can sip a beverage as we talk. So hopefully it means I bring some high energy.
Awesome. I'm also joined by the captain himself, Captain Drachma. How's it going, Seth?
Speaking of beverages, I went to the store yesterday, as one does on a weekend, I suppose. But there's a new flavor. I don't know if you guys have ever tried the V8 Energy.
V8. I've never seen
Drinks.
energy. No.
You have, Josh. I figured you would be my ally in this. I think the first time I ever tried one was at like a get together of ours. Briz drinks them. And so I was like, oh man, this thing's really good. Not carbonated, so it doesn't like have that kick. It feels like you can drink it in the morning and not be a naughty boy, you know. But there were like $1 cans for like the 12-ounce cans, and there's a new flavor called apple berry or something like that, and it tastes so similar to Snapple apple. So
nice.
I bought 6 and crushed one of those this morning, and truly one of my favorite things. I don't need it. I have other caffeinated beverages, and I am drinking a little bit of caffeine right now, but that thing's so good. So Josh, if you like apple, check it out.
Okay.
If it's in stores near you.
You said I got the 6-pack and I cracked it open. I thought you were going to say you drank the entire 6 today. I was like,
No, they are 120 milligrams. I would be on the ceiling right now if that were the case. But
All right. Well, we have a guest today. He's from New Game Old Flame and the community. I almost said Cartridge Club. Wow, blast from the past. Polykill community. It's Wiedo. How's it going, man?
Hello. I'm doing great. And apparently we're talking beverages, and I'm drinking a non-alcoholic IPA, local brew. So nice. It's way closer to bedtime for me. So no caffeine for me now. I got my fill today though. But this is a very good one. It's called Jopen, and it's very Dutch.
Nice.
Jopen is sort of slang for boobs.
Oh, nice. Okay.
hell yeah, I bet I'd love it.
Drinking a can of boobs. So, Wiedo, why don't you tell everybody what your podcast is all about? Because it's kind of people who listen to this and don't listen to New Game Old Flame are kind of missing out because you have an indie game podcast with a twist. So why don't you pitch what your podcast is all about?
Yes, New Game Old Flame is a podcast about new games on old consoles. So, for example, Super Nintendo, or for you Genesis, but also microcomputers like the Amiga and Commodore 64. And there's a lot of new games coming out for those consoles, and we have basically exactly the same format as you guys. We all bring a game to the show, and sometimes we have like one focus episode where we bring one game and we play it. We all play it. We didn't do an OST though. Maybe we should. But
You have our button.
yeah, it's basically I came later in the show, so and then I was already a fan of you guys, so I basically ripped off your format. I said,
fine.
Let's all bring a game to the show instead of before I was on the show. They always did just one game, one episode. So, but I think there's so many releases, just like the normal indie scene. There's also a lot of homebrew, new homebrew games. Every week there's something nice to play. So if you only bring one each episode, you can never bring a lot. So I thought if everyone brings one, then we have a lot longer list of games we played.
Yeah.
So that's basically what we're doing. Also, a lot of Game Boy. I bring a lot of Game Boy games because I'm a big fan of Game Boy. I'm also a Game Boy collector. So that's basically my favorite platform. And there's a lot of homebrew for that as well. And a lot of it is free.
Oh,
And for folks that want to see like the through line even closer to IndieQuest. If you go to newgameoldflame.com, that's their website, they basically have a quest log, but it's way more professional and like nicely set up than ours. You can filter by any platform and see all the games they've ever discussed and a link to the episode. You can also filter by price. So if you just want like a free or a pay what you want game. And so it's just like top to bottom, it's just basically a better, more professional version of IndieQuest. So folks will enjoy it.
That's not my work, by the way. That's all Andy. I have to credit him. He's quite passionate about the website as well. But we don't have a quest log.
Yeah, that's fair.
That we just sort of. Actually, we should rate it. We don't rate it. I just bring it and I just say it's good or not. But it's not really a rating. But just like you, if I bring it, there's something to like about it.
Wiedo, do you guys always play the games physically, or do you play the physical games but on PC sometimes?
I always use original hardware where I can.
Yeah.
But I don't play it physically because most homebrew releases don't release physically, and if they do, they are quite expensive.
Right. Okay.
I think like a homebrew release is mostly boxed with a manual, and it's like a very niche target audience. So I think it's like €50 a game, and they are often just free on itch.io or something. So I try to run the ROM on a flash card and then play it on original hardware because that's the most fun. I think that's the idea, because you don't get the vibe if you play it, the same vibe if you play it on PC.
Yeah,
it's always you just want the real CRT or the crappy Game Boy screen. It's just more fun because it's something magical if you play like a super modern game on an old platform, often with very modern game design sensibilities. It's like, wow, if this was released back in the day, this would be like a top 10 game for the platform. And also a lot of those new games have a lot higher megabits file. It's a lot bigger. Like back in the day on the Mega Drive, they said how much, like 8 mega power or something. But that's just one MB, I think. So, but now games are like 32 megabytes or something, and that's like 128 mega power or something. Yeah, that's a way bigger games.
You mentioning that a lot of times the homebrew releases are expensive is actually a good segue for folks that didn't, I guess, read the title. I know what the title of this episode is. It probably gives it away in some form. But we're talking about free games today. So we're doing a bargain quest all about free games. And you're a perfect guest for that because in the Polykill Discord, you also run a channel in there called the Frugal Gamers Club. Why don't you tell people about that? Because I think it's a noble endeavor that I could never participate in personally.
Well, I always, I think since 2 years or something, I always had a spreadsheet of all the games I bought that year with the prices behind it, and also what the totals were. And one year, like the first year I did that, I was like, wow, I spent like €1,000 on games this year. I was like, this is ridiculous. Why? And and then I marked every game I actually played. It was shocking. So I was like, okay, next year, that was still for myself. I make a spreadsheet and I try to limit myself for a certain amount. I thought, okay, I spent 1,000 this year. I can halve that. So I spent 500 this year. So that was my limit last year, I think. So I kept everything in a bookkeeping sheet. And then I thought, okay, maybe someone else in the Discord, in the Polykill Discord, wants to participate. So I made a little public spreadsheet where everybody can put his yearly limit and what they spent that year. and how many games they purchased from that money, and also how many games they beaten that year. So, and it makes all kind of calculations in that spreadsheet, so you can see if you're still on target this year, if you spend too much. I'm actually in the red now because I spent a little bit too much, but it's my yearly pace is minus €1.66. So I'm almost in the green again. But Steam sale is now going on, so I'm waiting for being in the green, and then I can spend again. But yeah, I think there's only 6 people, I think, in that spreadsheet, but it would be cool if it can grow a little, because I tried to spend €300 this year, and I think, and I hope actually to play those games as well. I made like crazy flow charts. If you do you need this game, or yes or no? If you say no, don't buy this game. So that's like a decisions tree if you want to sort of buy that game. But sometimes I still have like you just want to buy something.
Yeah.
You have to it's all in us, I guess.
Yep.
We all have the
retail therapy.
Exactly. Yeah. It's cool though, because there's so many places where you can see, like I do it. I'll share videos or streams where I show everything I picked up, and I probably blow your yearly budget in one of those streams, but it's cool seeing in there people celebrating stuff that they didn't buy. People will be like, I almost bought this and then I decided not to, and everyone will be like, yeah, way to go, woo. Or like I've been wanting to play this game forever, and it finally went 95% off on sale, so I got it for $1.26, and you're like, oh, let's go. It's very fun.
Yeah, my you can also see the average price of the game in the spreadsheet, and I actually spent €6.74 per beat this year. So per beaten game this year. So it's quite high actually. But I only count beaten games if I paid for them. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, and also next to this, I also have a list on itch.io with free games, my free games list. So if I find a cool free game and I beaten it and it's worth your time, then I put it in that list. And,
I'll put a link, that link to the itch page in the description here of the podcast. So if anyone's like curious and wants to peruse it, it's in the description. So check it out.
And I'll be honest up front, I planned on playing one of those for this episode, and then I fell down a rabbit hole of a different game. So I'll have to circle back to it.
It's good though, because a lot of those itch games are very short. So I already told Josh, like, I don't want to talk about a game longer than it takes to beat it. Yeah, and that's a lot with the free games. They are just like an hour or half an hour or something, and then you've beaten them. Because they're more like finished demos. But still, most of the time, a lot of cool ideas in those little games.
Yeah.
And that's what attracts me to these free itch experiments. And if it's not that great, it's still like half an hour. It's not a problem. Yeah. You beaten it, and it's and maybe there's a little nice nugget of an idea in there which you do like, or sort of soundtrack of music or something like that. There's always something to like in those games.
For sure.
Awesome. So
yeah. Well, I was just going to mention, I assume you're getting to the thing, Josh.
Yeah,
so I was going
the guest thing.
Yes. So I was going to mention, we've each, since both of you two talked about the things that Wiedo did, I also want to mention one thing that Wiedo does that we have not talked about, which he is perhaps the most synonymous with, and it isn't indie, but still, I feel like people need to know that Wiedo is a massive Quake fan. And so
Absolutely.
It is sort of indie in the way that you interact with Quake. So if you want to talk to that for just a minute or two here.
Yeah, well, that's maybe another link to the free games. I make a lot of content for Quake. So I'm in the Quake community, and they make a lot of nice maps for Quake. And Well, actually, Quake is an indie game. They published it themselves, and there were like a development team of 5 people. But it's back then.
Yeah.
Now it's bought by Microsoft, so it's like Minecraft.
Steve, you're gonna make Steve all mad about this, so we better.
every game made before 1995 is indie because team sizes were smaller.
Maybe. Well, but they publish it online themselves, in shareware, so it's quite different. But of course, they made Doom before it, and that was they made a lot of money with it. So I don't know if you can call it indie, but anyway, we make a lot of content for Quake, and even there's also a source port or how do you call it? Like people remade the Quake engine, including all the assets and all the music, and it's called LibreQuake. And you can just install that, and everything looks a little different. So all the weapon models are different, all the monsters are a little bit different. But it's free, and you can download it. It's open source. And if you install one of the Quake map packs we make on that, you can just play that for free as well. So you don't have to buy Quake. So we make a lot of cool Quake content, and I love that game. I don't know what it is about Quake, but I don't really like first-person shooters that much, and also I don't really like Doom. I don't like Doom. That's weird.
The funniest thing I've ever heard. Wiedo's like, I don't really even like this game that much, but I love this game that much. It's so funny.
I like Quake because there's a lot of exploration in Quake. I think that's it's like every level is a little gated exploration game or something, and that's what attracts me. A lot of platforming in there as well, and even puzzles and stuff like that. So, I think that's why I like it more than other first-person shooters. I tried a lot, but most of them I don't like. So and by the way, if you want to play another free game I made, Steve also played it. There was like Celeste 64. There was like a 10 years Celeste thing or 5 years. I don't know. It was like I don't know. The developers of Celeste made a game in 7 days called Celeste 64, a 3D platformer. And I decided like 2 weeks after release to make, together with some Quake community guys, a mod for that. Also in 7 days. It's called the B-Sides. But not bee, like the bee, the animal, the bee. The buzzing bee. And that's also free to download as well, both of them. So you can play a lot of free content I made. And
awesome.
Yeah. It's great. I highly recommend people play it. It's also featured in his free games list. So when you get that, you'll be able to find it in there too.
I sneaky. I put it I thought, should I put this in there? But I thought, why not?
Yeah. It deserves it deserves to be in there for sure. I had a great time with it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. So we have a new guest on the show. So every time we do, we ask the big question. What's your favorite indie game of all time?
I expected this question, of course. And I had a very difficult time thinking of an answer.
Steve is going to get
a lot of games.
So mad
if you say Quake, this video feed's about to cut.
That was my first answer. No, I already thought that's a ridiculous answer. That was the joke answer. Let's say that.
There you go.
But my real answer is Outer Inscription Wilds.
Oh, the combo of the two games. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't choose. One day it's this, the other day is that. You can. There's even more, but I like Outer Wilds. Was just a magical experience. The whole mysterious, puzzly space exploration thing. It's just something I never seen before, and also that weird physics system that is just geniusly put together. There's like, and it kept me busy even while I wasn't playing it. And when games do that, then I know it's a good game.
Yeah.
It's a great, yeah. And I sneaked in Inscription as well because I just love the vibes. It's just like, just the vibes and the story. It's insane. And I just love all Mellon's works. He has some kind of weird style, which is almost like David Lynchian or something. I so love that vibe of that game. And that, yeah. So that, I think that encapsulates my taste the most, those two games.
Normally I'd call you on it for sneaking in 2, but the 2 games you brought, I think everyone here is willing to negotiate terms and let both of them slide in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are 2 all-time indie games, so that makes a lot of sense. One of them, probably in my top 10 all-time list, to be honest.
One of them is in my top 1 time of all time.
The only thing is that I never played DLC of Outer Worlds or Inscription, so that's I'm worried that it will spoil my experience of the original. So I'm just sort of nervous to start those games because I'm afraid that they will spoil me. But yeah,
I'd be really surprised if the DLC for Outer Wilds spoiled it. It is so good. It is.
I bought it twice already.
If they had shipped it and called it Outer Wilds 2, I think people would have been cool with it because it's like fully featured, does some new stuff, but kind of in the spirit of the original game. It's really good.
I should start that someday. Quickly, I guess.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into the meat and potatoes. I suppose today we are doing Bargain Quest. We love doing these. Our assignment this time was to bring a free indie game that you may or may not have heard and bring it to the quest log. So what is the quest log? If this is the first time you're listening, I'd be surprised. But if it is, there's 2 sections to the quest log. The main quest, which is an easy recommendation, an incredible experience, a certified banger. It's basically, you'd see the box quote that says 10 out of 10 masterpiece on these games. And then we have the side quest, which is still a recommendation, but it might be closer to like an 8 out of 10, or there might be a couple of caveats. It might be a little bit too niche for a general audience, but it's still a recommendation. We bring only recommended games to the show. So who wants to go first between Steve and Seth today?
That's a little bit of clever wording there. You know what? My game is relatively small, so it's a perfect amuse-bouche, a nice little appetizer game for everybody. So, yes, as mentioned in the top, the theme of the show today, Bargain Quest style, is free games. You don't have to pay a penny. You're about to get 4 games added to your backlog with no excuses, because they are accessible to you right now. And I am going to be bringing a game that I'm curious if anybody here has heard of. I'm almost confident the answer is definitely no, but Wiedo's pretty well-rounded, so maybe he's heard of it. Octogram. Have any of you heard of Octogram?
No, I have not.
I don't think so.
All right.
Octogram.
This game is not available on Steam, so stop searching within Steam to find it. It is available at jacklance.github.io. Jack Lance he's unfortunately passed away, but he was just a hobbyist, enthusiast, mega puzzle game fan, and he's made tons of different puzzle games, and his very last one before he unfortunately passed was Octogram. So, this game, I mean, you can play it on your PC, you can play it on your mobile phone, but you have to go to the website to get to the link to start the game.
It is hilarious because very often I don't use images. I'll just like go to Steam and look through the images on Steam or a website, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is probably the first time that the first link I've clicked on just took me to the game. I was about to start playing it. So yes. I'm very interested to hear what you've got to say.
So this game released... I think it's a little hard to nail down a release date for it, but I'm pretty sure it's December 30th, 2023. And like I said, it's available. jacklance.github.io is where you can go play it. It is, you can see why it'll be quick to talk about, because there's like, we can talk about the game and that is it. It is just a green window with text, and you it shows you 8-letter characters, and you punch in an answer, and that's the entire game as you go through. I see you thinking something, Seth. I see your little gears turning there. What's going on, buddy?
I am watching some video of this game, and I am proud of you for the attempt you will make at explaining what's happening.
Yeah.
Because this thing is frightening for a reviewer, I suppose.
Yeah. It's incredibly intuitive. Wiedo's going to get like 10 levels in as I'm describing it, so he'll be able to help because it's that addictive. It's very intuitive to play, but yes, it's a little bit strange to explain. So Octogram is a puzzle game where the only prompt you are given, there's no instructions, there's no setup, there's nothing. You click play game and it shows you a tile grid of levels. You click on the first level and it gives you an 8-character prompt. It's always an 8-character prompt. That's why the game is called Octogram. And actually, like a little fun bit of just like flair, I guess, is if you look around the screen, every single thing on the screen is 8 letters. There's a previous button to go to the previous level. Instead of next, they say ulterior because that's an 8-character letter. Progress, level map, and main menu, all of them are 8 characters long. And the entirety of the game is that the 8 characters that they give you is a clue to what you need to type into the box, the dialogue box there. Your answers are not always 8 characters, but the prompt is always 8 characters. So as you can see, like the very first prompt when you open up the game, it says type OK, O-K-E-Y. You type the word OK, boom, you're into the next level. The stage 2 is unclosed. So you're like, okay, what is unclosed? Well, if something's unclosed, it's open. So open is the answer. You type that in. And it keeps track of how many individual levels you've completed. And you have to complete certain amounts to unlock like new tiers on the level grid. And something that's not immediately obvious and helps, I think, a little bit in solving the puzzles is that at first the level grid, as you're looking at it, it's just numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but the rows are random, or they appear random at first. Like number 1 is on its own row, then 2 through 7 are on their next row, 8 and 9 are on their own row. It's like that because each row is introducing a concept, like a style of puzzle, and then building on it. So this game is very witness adjacent in how it teaches you to solve its puzzles. It'll always give you like kind of a relatively easy one, and then it'll do a twist on that, and it'll do a twist on that, and before you know it, it's layering mechanics and doing all sorts of weird stuff. All of this within the context of just 8-word or 8-letter characters. So like after unclosed, it gives you untrue. So I won't spoil every puzzle in the game, but I feel like a couple of them helps to like get the idea. And I'll give some examples of some different styles of puzzles. So untrue, you're like, okay, untrue is false. Unfalse is true. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I already tried that.
So you try that, it'll do nothing. It'll just like not work. But you're like, okay, untrue is wrong. What's the opposite of wrong? Oh, it's right. Okay, so the answer is right. Stuff like that. Like it'll do little twists on it. And it is such an addictive game because this is the type of game you can have up in a browser tab on your phone. And whenever you have 2 minutes to chip away, you just open up and stare at a couple puzzles. You will inevitably get stuck on some that you can't solve. And you'll be like, I just need to solve 2 more to get all the way to the next block of puzzles to unlock the next like puzzle style. And you'll be staring at the same 8 freaking characters that's just say Laxnado. And you're like, what is Laxnado? And at some point you'll have this aha moment. And or if you're me, you combined with the power of your wife together will have an aha moment. And you'll be able to solve stuff.
I think this will be a ridiculous difficult game for me. When English isn't your main language.
Yes. It probably will be.
I have to
tough,
think twice. I have to think twice, or I have to translate. Then I have to. It's a light even harder. But yeah, I already got a few. But we're talking, so maybe it isn't that bad.
This game is extremely New York Times games coded.
It's funny you say that, because I said to Leah earlier today as we were sitting there chipping away trying to solve a couple of the puzzles, I was like, this is like my version of Wordle, except every so often I get obsessed and I play it for an hour and a half straight because I'm on a good run. Like,
but they could literally do this exact thing and make it daily, and it would work perfectly. Just one word a day, and you get on there and you've solved the word, and you can't wait for the next one. Right, next day.
Exactly. Yeah, and sometimes the 8 characters are giving you, it's a puzzle about abbreviations. Sometimes it's a puzzle about math. Sometimes it's a puzzle about chemistry. Sometimes it's a puzzle that's wordplay. And it's very much, I think it's very much the type of game where Googling is within fair play. Like, they expect you to Google, because I'll give an example of one I solved just the other day, somewhere like in the low 100s, where they gave me like this random string of characters, and I realized, based on the context of previous puzzles, like, oh, this is an alternative way to spell the chemical formula for acetic acid. And so you're like, wait, this looks like it's chemistry related. And so you Google like CO3H2C2, and the Google will give you back like, oh, that's this acetic acid. And you're like, okay, so you punch in acetic acid, you get it. So there's no way somebody could ever have this all just off the top of their head. But what's nice is that the puzzles are so well designed that they will always give you enough information where you the information you need. You just need to go Google it and get that information and return it back. You're never like guessing. You're never Googling what is the answer. Instead, you're like Googling, I have the particulars, what is the specific thing, which is very cool. It turns Google into a tool in that way.
It really reminds me. It reminds me of when we were kids. And I don't know if you ever had this in the Netherlands, but we had like, it was like a picture, and there was like, sometimes it would be like a big E and a little E, and you'd have to figure out what the word was, or what the line was, or whatever. I can't even remember of a specific one off the top of my head. Or there's like 2 lines running parallel, and you have to figure out what the saying is that goes with those. That's what this reminds me of.
Yep. There's blocks of puzzles in this that are very similar to those two. Like, one of the easier ones in that style is just the word park twice, park, and the answer is double park.
Yes.
And because the game is teaching you to approach the puzzles in particular ways, everything in that row now is going to be like wordplay related. And so they'll give you another one. And then the next row might be, the first thing they might give you is just a Roman numeral, an 8-character Roman numeral. You punch in the number and you get it. Then the next one might be the same 8 Roman numerals, but in an order that doesn't work for Roman numerals. And so you're like, well, what the heck? What number would this make? And you have to figure that out. And then the next one might involve like sine, cosine, tangent stuff. And it gets like, there was ones in that where I was literally having to Google, like, what's the mathematical representation for derivatives, so I can understand how to solve this particular puzzle. So
it reminds me a bit of the puzzles in Lorelei and Laser Eyes. Sometimes there's also like stuff like what's this, and then you have to do internet research to solve it. I usually like these puzzles inside of I don't know if this is a real video game or just a sort of online quiz. I don't know. It's but yeah, I think I consider like Lorelei and Laser Eyes like a proper Switch game. So you're in an environment and stuff, and this is just answering riddles.
Yes.
Yeah, those riddles are often in those kind of complicated. Also, Locke also has these kind of riddles in there. I usually like those, but I also feel very stupid often when I play these.
And I mean,
how many of these are in there?
So this is the rare game that I'm bringing that I have not fully finished, because I genuinely don't know when it ends. But I mean, this is I'm showing you guys on camera. This is my grid. Everything yellow is something I've solved. Everything green is something I haven't. And so at this point, I'm down to the 120s, and it seems to continue and keep going on. And so there's so many of these puzzles. And
I would be terrified that maybe your browser cache would delete your save file. I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know how that works, but I'm always terrified with these web games that they don't save if I refresh my page. But apparently it's going well for you, I guess.
Yes, it has saved it pretty well so far, yeah. But like, I'm trying to find a good example of one here. Like this. At some point, they start just being like nothing words, like GFLATAKA. That means nothing to anybody, but only in the context of the puzzles that just came before it do you understand how to approach a puzzle like that. So it's like the world's most straightforward, simple game, but like it's all. I just think that this guy was like an incredibly talented puzzle designer, and there's so much done with such a simple concept. Like if someone gave me the confines of create riddles based on 8 characters, I could maybe pump out like 25 of them at most. And the fact that there's hundreds across like 25 different unique categories and puzzle styles is just so cool. So yeah, I highly recommend everyone open a browser tab and start chipping away at Octogram.
Definitely going to do that myself. I've already been playing when you guys are talking. That's why I'm kind of just listening. I'm basically listening to a podcast, you guys talking, and chipping away at some puzzles right now, you know?
Yeah. Yes. So really, I mean, that is all there is to it. If you're a puzzle pervert like me, you'll love it. If not, maybe steer clear. But do you guys have any questions before it gets quest logged?
I have one comment. There's a game, Steve. I've definitely sent this game to you. It's called Lingo, and it's basically like you take this concept and add Antichamber to it, and you get that game. So it's basically a non-Euclidean game plus these like word puzzles that you just walk up to like screens and little things. That's just a Steve game for sure. There's 2 of them actually, I think. So non-free game for sure, but you know, that's what it reminded me of, and it's a very similar idea, but in a 3D space.
You know, it's a game I'd like when it's in a Metroid Brainia Steam bundle alongside Outer Wilds, so it's pretty safe bet I'd enjoy it. Cool. But Wiedo, Seth, any other questions or thoughts?
Is there any surprises in this game, or is it just this?
No, this is not like, oh, it's so simple and it like, you know, it's gonna Daniel Mullen style start cracking the screen open. It's not that. What you see is what you get.
It becomes a shmup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That would be crazy. My question, and you may have said this at the top, but I was more focused on what is this game? How did you find it?
I was watching a YouTube video of a guy who was tier listing like every puzzle game he'd ever played, and he's like a puzzle game enthusiast. It was like 250 games. Just everything from like Chips Challenge up through Outer Wilds, he was tier listing. And he put this game in the A rank, and I was like, what the heck is... And it was also like one of the very first games he did, and he like confidently was like, oh, Octogram, oh, easy A, yeah. And he like barely discussed anything about it, and I was like,
wow.
Looking at like The Witness is in S tier, and Outer Wilds is in S tier, and I'm like, here's this game 1 tier below it that he's so confident about. What the hell is this game? So I Googled it, and I was like, this thing? And then I was like, I don't know, maybe this guy knew the guy that developed it or something. I was like, I don't know. And then I started playing it, and I like could not stop playing it. And then I showed it to my wife, and she was doing the thing where she's like angrily staring at a puzzle for 40 minutes at a time, being like, don't talk to me. I'm going to get this one. I'm locked in. Instead of like opening your phone and scrolling Blue Sky or whatever, now every 5-minute gap we have, one of us opens up my phone and starts trying to just chip away at 1 or 2 more puzzles that we haven't gotten yet. Oh, so satisfying.
Often these free puzzle games which get highly rated by puzzle freaks are simple like this.
Yeah.
I had one game, it was also free and was like very well regarded, and then I wanted to play it, and it was just a PNG.
Oh,
There was no interaction.
it's just an image.
And it was just an image, and it was like, read me with it. And I was like, go figure it out. And I was like, what do I do? It's just a PNG. So I never got far in that game. But,
That's fun.
yeah. That's when you know when the really freaky stuff is going on.
Exactly.
Really freaky puzzle stuff.
Yeah, and on this guy's website, again, he died at like the age of 25, which is so tragic. But as a 25-year-old, he has, I don't know, 30 different puzzle games that he put out on his website. Like, this kid is just passionate about puzzle games.
Yeah,
And
no kidding.
obviously, it's not going to be super involved graphically or anything like that, because if you're churning out 1.5 puzzle games for every year you've been on the earth, like, you don't got time for that. But still, very cool.
It's for the Ord sickos.
Yes.
Everybody that loves Ord.
Okay, so that's perfect segue to where I'm going to put it on the quest log. I love this game. This is a Steve main quest, but this is like, there's always the balance on a main quest or side quest is like, one, how much do I love the game? But two, how much do I think other people might love the game? And I think if you know my tastes, or if you're a puzzle hound, you know if you're in the pocket for this game already. The people that would main quest this game have like already, they're already 8 puzzles in while we're talking about it, and they don't really care what I'm saying about it anymore. They're not listening to me. I'm just audio playing in their ears, distracting them. However, non-puzzle hounds, I think, one, maybe just won't like it as much, but like, it's tough. Like, you are given nothing. There's no hint system. There's no guides online. There's one YouTube video of a guy that's playing it, and like, if you need answers to puzzles, which I haven't done, but it's mentioned on the Git page, like, the only way to get answers to the puzzles, any help, is to literally go look at the source code that's available on GitHub to see them in the files. And so, like, it's very possible, and has happened to me several times, and I think would frustrate a lot of people or bounce them off, that you will just at some point not get enough puzzles to proceed on to the next group, and you will just be staring at 10 gibberish 8-letter words and not know what to do, and you will stop. And so I'm going to put it on the side quest, because I think generally people will have inconsistent experiences with it. But even though it's on the side quest, for the people out there that love puzzles, if you're a Witness fan, Outer Wilds fan, if you like that type of, the Metroidvania adjacent style puzzle, the puzzles that teach you as you go along, I'm telling you, just check it out. You will have a great time. Octogram rules. It's so good.
Well, I think it's also a very language-based game.
True.
What I said, it's pretty difficult for me, I think, to get very far in this game. If my English is fine, but
yes.
not as deep as you guys. And that was also what worried me about Lock Digital. But that is also a word-based game, but it's like gibberish language, right?
Yeah.
So that's maybe more accessible, and that's all on the main quest. So I guess that's also, the accessibility is maybe a little bit low for people who don't speak English.
Yes, that's very true, because there's several types of puzzles in this game that expect you to know common English abbreviations, or especially common English expressions that I don't know how much a non-native English speaker, maybe a non-American, would really know. Like, some of them might be familiar, some of them might be not, but like, the game might show you the letters EZPZ, and you need to know, like, oh, lemon squeezy is going to come after easy peasy, which is like, if you don't know the expression, you don't know it. So maybe a little bias for the English speakers out there. If you want to play it, just study English a little more, I guess, because they're not going to patch it.
That's funny.
Oh. Awesome. So Seth, do we want to let Wiedo go after one more of us? I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go first, Seth, or do you want me to?
Yeah. Well, it seems like you want the end.
Yeah.
Sounds like to me.
I don't really care, honestly. I just try to change it up a little bit. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'll go out at some point here. I'm ready whenever it's my turn.
Maybe tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a little next episode.
Yeah, I can take the next one. One that I kind of plucked this one actually last year, but makes a lot of sense for an episode that Wiedo is on, I think, based on the look of this game. So, my game is called Phantom Feline. And I would imagine that none of you have heard of Phantom Feline. So,
is it more or less popular than Octogram?
I would imagine less, but I don't know how we know how popular Octogram is.
That's fair.
Yeah, there's like no stats on Octogram. But yeah, when you guys get to Steam, because this one is on Steam, you guys can go and take a look at it. Phantom Feline. I am saying released this year, even though it didn't technically. Technically, it released last year, August 1st. But when it came out, the developer, Shady Paw, only released 8 levels. And then there was like a clamoring from the handful of people who have played this game to make it so that this was more of a full-fledged game. So the dev actually went back and upped it to 24 total levels. So this is more of like a full-fledged experience versus when it first came out. So I would consider it more of a 2026 game because he introduced those additional levels on the 1st of January of this year. So, and currently it is only on PC. An interesting thing about Shady Paw is they are part of the UMBC Game Developers Club, which I think we see a lot of this stuff when we review. We've done free games in the past, I think at least once, and we've probably each brought a couple free games here and there as we've been doing the show. But I feel like a lot of times we see like school projects for video game, like aspiring video game designers and things, or people who are just part of like a game jam club, which is what this is, right? So that's how Phantom Feline came to be. It was made for a game jam. It was actually at MagFest this year, which we always used to go to MagFest. I haven't been in a couple of years, but could have played Phantom Feline at MagFest 2026. So now that you guys have looked at Phantom Feline a little bit, do you at least understand why I said that this is more a Wiedo type game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It has a very Game Boy vibe.
Yes, it does.
A lot of pea
If I
soup
just
green
look
in
at the
here.
screenshots, it really looks like a Bubble Ghost. I don't know if you know that
I do
Game Boy
not.
game.
Yep.
It has that vibe to me, with all the objects and well, and also of course the pea soup green
Yes.
screenshots.
Yeah, so I think you can probably change it in the options, but the first 8 levels are the only ones who have the specific like Game Boy color, like original brick Game Boy color, and then the other ones introduce some different colors, but I think you can change it. Like there's a black and white 8 levels, and there's like a blue and yellow 8 levels. So, but I believe that's accessible from the options, although I didn't check. I just played them as they were. But Phantom Feline is a side-scrolling Game Boy puzzle platformer. It's fairly basic in terms of what it sets out to do, but I think oftentimes free games can be that way. But I would say that this is a pretty darn good one of those. So we've already talked about it. It looks like a Game Boy. It is a basic presentation, I would say, but very serviceable. It sets out and does what it sets out to do, I suppose. The feline, the cat ghost, is well animated. Probably, I would say not too well animated for a Game Boy. But some of the graphics in here kind of remind me of the Crazy Castle type games, the Bugs Bunny games, right? And that's kind of, it doesn't really necessarily play exactly like those, although that is kind of a puzzle game as well. But that's kind of what what it seems to be going for, what it's similar to, and you do end up trying to always go through a door in every single level, which is also in the Crazy Castle games. So music, 8-bit chiptunes. It's what you would expect from a Game Boy type game. None of them wowed me necessarily, although I will say I was definitely tapping my toe to the last 8 levels that you can play. Very good little song there, but I mean, it's all kind of what you might expect from a Game Boy type game, right? It's kind of upbeat, but all 8-bit chiptune.
Yeah, it says in the description that they used the original Game Boy sound chip to make the music.
Mm-hmm, it sounds exactly like you would think. If I imagine that is true. Then it sounds just like a Game Boy. So to me, I don't know that this is necessarily true, and maybe Wiedo can test this at some point. I don't exactly know how the homebrew type stuff works perfectly, but it feels like this game could play on original Game Boy hardware.
Well, I see some rotation in the screenshots alone, or like in the animated screenshots, and that's already
not too much
complicated for a game, probably.
Well,
so
you heard
it looks
here.
like a Game Boy game, and I think also the screen. I think it looks like a higher resolution. It says the same aspect ratio as a Game Boy game, but I think this is a higher resolution game than a real Game Boy game.
This is what the people are gonna go to New Game Old Flame for, because they get the tech stuff that we just cannot deliver because we are too dumb. I shouldn't speak for all of us. I should speak for myself, and I am too dumb.
You're right. We're all too dumb.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm dumb in my own way, though.
There's no story in this game. You're a cat ghost, and you're flying around and trying to get to the next door and then get to the next door. And that's all you're really doing. But the gameplay, that's certainly what you're coming to a game like this for. So the gimmick around what you were doing as a cat ghost, you really only can move left to right as your ghost. Of course, if you're like on a higher ledge, you can drop down onto a lower ledge and stuff like that, but you cannot jump as the feline. The only way that you can ever scale vertically in this game is if there is a light on, and that light is shining on like a brick wall backdrop. And then as the cat ghost, you can mesh into the wall and kind of scale it up as like a little brown or a little black cat head or whatever. It's like you have 2 different ghost forms. And the only way you can scale vertically is if there's light shining on a backdrop wall. So that is kind of the trick. You have to figure out, sometimes you see that the door is out of reach and maybe there are no lights on. Maybe there is one light on that you can scale up to a certain point. But oftentimes you will see that there are switches, and you will see that there are conveyors that lead to a button. You might see that there's like a box somewhere up high that you assume, if you get up there, that you might be able to push onto that button. Maybe that button triggers a change in the way the conveyor belts are running. Maybe it turns a light on. And sometimes there are switches, and you flip that switch, and that might also turn a light on. But sometimes a switch will turn one light on and turn another light off, right? So you kind of have to work around that and sequence it out. It's more of a, step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. Step 4, I should be getting to the door, right? And you have to figure out what that step process is in your head versus stare at the screen for a long time and figure out what this grandiose puzzle is, right? It's certainly not an overly challenging game. I think that almost anyone could get into it and probably beat it within about an hour. That's how long it took me. I think it took me about 45 minutes. But like I said at the top, that does not hold it back from being a very fun and unique experience. And I guess I don't know exactly how unique. Wiedo already mentioned that there's other games that are similar to this, and I'm sure there are a fair amount of games that are similar. Okay.
It looks similar, but it is not. Yeah, it's quite original concept, I guess. It's sort of you turning on and off climbing mechanics or something.
Yeah,
so
but you can only
walls.
You can only climb in certain distinct sections. I will say that while it isn't a hard game, there are certain parts where I'm like, okay, I have to big brain here for a minute, because sometimes the puzzles are very, I hit the one button on the screen and that does something, and now it's obvious that I have to go over there. But there are a few more grand puzzles, I suppose, that are multiple screens where I have to go to the right, solve a little puzzle that's going to turn something on to the left, or maybe even the far left, right. Well, I shouldn't say left, right, back to back, but you get it. There are puzzles on multiple screens that interact with each other. You have to connect them all and then do the thing that gets you to the door. Oftentimes, you'll have to go get a key, for example, that unlocks a door. Fortunately, you don't have to carry that key to the door. It just goes straight to the door, unlocks it for you. So then you just have to make your way back to the door. But there were several times when I would be like, okay, I feel like I've done everything correctly. And then I make a mistake where I put myself into a position where I cannot reach a light source and I just have to restart. There are also, I guess, enemies. They're like the little disc guys that go back and forth in Mega Man games that just run along the floor and hurt you whenever you get close to them. Except for if you get hit as the ghost cat by one of those discs, you just automatically lose and you have to restart. So there were several times when I did fail. It's not like I just went in and beat this game with my eyes closed. There were several times when I would fail and have to restart and do better or do something different the next time to make sure I was successful. So
you can easily restart the levels if you're stuck or something. Or is it ever that you get stuck as well in this game? Or
yeah, you can.
You made a mistake and then you have to restart the level, or
yes, you can put yourself into a corner sometimes where you can't reach a light source and you can't jump. So then you're just like, oh, I'm stuck here. But yeah, fortunately, if you pause it, there is just a restart button in the pause menu that just puts you at the beginning of the level again. You start again. So it is pretty easy breezy, I suppose, in that way. It's pretty frictionless in terms of making sure you're being consistent with the fun you're having and not kind of holding you to the fire and making you figure things out when you get stuck. So, but yeah, pretty simple game.
I often with these games, if the levels get too long, then and you get stuck in the end, then it can get very annoying. But I don't know how long are these levels at maximum.
Well,
because,
yeah, there is I looked through and I didn't do any of this. I should, because honestly, it would be fun to go for achievements in this game. But there are achievements that are like, there's, I guess, 4 different worlds, each with 8 levels. And those are like the different color palettes. And each of them has a speed run achievement where you have to beat all 8 levels in like a time period. I think the longest one is 8 minutes or something.
Oh,
so, and
that's long.
That's all 8 levels. Okay. So it's 1 minute per level. Yeah, it's not it. Like I said, it took me 45 total minutes to beat the game, all 32 levels. So yeah, if you get to a point where you're like, oh shoot, I did something wrong or I died, I have to redo this whole thing. It never feels bad. It's 2 minutes tops to do a whole level. So, and that's the longest. I mean, there are several levels you'll finish in 8 seconds. So
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty short in terms of full game and each level. So that is all of Phantom Feline. It is a pretty basic game, but you kind of get what you see when you take a look at it. Do you guys have any other questions before I put it on the quest log?
Nope.
Cool. All right, Phantom Feline, as you might expect, I think is a very solid side quest. It isn't an overly long game, but it's one of those side quests that I could confidently recommend to almost anyone. It just, it doesn't have that main quest shine, I suppose, but I would recommend to basically everybody in the Discord that has a semi-operational PC or a way to play this game, you should play it. It's free. You'll enjoy your time with it. It maybe isn't going to be a game that you remember after you are done. But, when you're looking back through your camera roll at some point, you go through the Phantom Feline credits, you're like, oh, that was fun. That was a good time. So, yeah, that's Phantom Feline.
I look forward to 5 Phantom Feline beat tweets next episode.
Pretty much. All right, Wiedo, the red carpet's out for you. What are you bringing to the quest log today?
Cool. Yeah, what I said. Often these free games are very short, like Dragma's game as well. It's an hour or something. Mm-hmm. And I searched for something which takes a while to beat. And also, normally I peruse itch.io. That's like that sort of the ultimate gaming trash bin where you can find hidden good stuff, but also a lot of free trash. But a lot of people have sort of difficulties to install these games or get started with them, or it's actually very easy, but there's like a sort of barrier of entry. So I thought, okay, I have to just go to a regular storefront. So I'm bringing Darkenstein 3D on Steam. It's on Steam.
Oh, it is on Steam.
All right.
Good.
So on the title, you probably have a gist of what it is already. I said that I don't really like first-person shooters, but here I bring a first-person shooter. Yeah. So I'm very picky with my first-person shooter. So that I bring this, it means that it's a good one. It's released last year, end of the last year, and it's made by a single developer called Royi or something. I don't know how you pronounce that. And it's actually published by Microprose. I don't know if you know these guys again. It's like a blast from the past. Yeah. It's like that when you boot this game, you see the big Microprose logo, and I was like, what? When did I last see that? So I guess he got money to publish this. I don't know. But it's free. It's a first-person shooter, and it's obviously inspired by the Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Everything screams Return to Castle Wolfenstein, but the Return to Castle Wolfenstein wasn't serious, but still sort of. Mm-hmm. But this is like a sort of Duke Nukem 3D infused in Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Spoofy. So it's definitely spoofy. It made me smile a lot. But I also see a lot of inspiration of Half-Life, Unreal Tournament, also a little of GoldenEye. But yeah, it basically encapsulates the 90s boomer shooter in a sort of 2000s graphical style. It looks a bit like, maybe like Quake 3, but with very pixel textures on the walls. That's basically the game. You play as Hobo Guy, he's called, and he's stuck in Germany because he failed some kind of mission to get secret documents or something in Germany, and he's stuck there. But he failed the mission, so he didn't get his money. So he ended up being a beggar in Germany behind enemy lines. And the only friend he has is his dog, his German Stafford dog called Gunther. And one day the Nazi Gestapo steals Gunther while beating Hobo Guy to the ground. And of course your mission is to save Gunther from the hands of the evil Nazi scum. So that's the basic premise of the game. Of course, when you start the game, the first enemy you have is like a dog. You have to kill it. You have to kill like hundreds of German Stafford dogs in this game. So that's the irony. You're saving your dog, but you're killing a lot of them as well. You can, by the way, change that if you don't like killing dogs. There's an option in the menu to change that to zombie dogs or something. I don't know. There's people who don't like that. This game also has like the stilted conversations, like the 2000 style first-person shooter games, with very voice acting like they weren't in the same room. So they're just talking yeah, maybe it's only one voice actor. I don't know, but so it's very, very from the era, and I really love that.
Yeah.
This game also has the one-liners of Duke Nukem. So if you kill someone, he says like, "Whoa, what a beautiful red mist," or something. if you frag someone, stuff like that. I really love that, and it has a lot of also the ragdoll physics of Half-Life 2. So it gets very silly when you shoot a rocket and someone explodes and you see like a rib cage flying and someone else is like a soldier is flying from a cliff or something. It's really silly and really cool, and it's something I haven't seen a long time. Maybe since Half-Life 2.
I was going to say, it was reminding me of Half-Life, and I was looking at screenshots. It's something about just like the fluidity of it too. I guess also kind of Quake adjacent, but yeah, it feels very of that era.
It gives me like Doom or Wolfenstein if they went through the HD 2D filter.
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's like those were always, first person games. So it's hard to imagine them being HD 2D like the new Final Fantasies and stuff like that, and Octopath Traveler. But it just has that shine, that bloom, I suppose. That's because this really does still look of that era. Like it looks like it was made back then, but it's just so shiny. Yes, yeah. It looks good. I really like the way it looks.
It's also very heavy on the system, I can say. It does look basic, but I don't know if it's like, because it's a free game, it's not very good optimized. It's made in the Unity engine. But my computer did get some chugging when sometimes, so I don't know. It's also why it gets some negative reviews on Steam because of people had problems with performance, I think. But this game really has the old school level design. So maybe more like Doom, not like Quake. And the first 5 levels are very corridor based. So you're in corridors searching for the red and the blue key and opening doors and stuff like that. And it's also it felt very one dimensional. And I was like, the first levels, I was like, I don't know if I like this game because it's so basic, these levels. But what got me over the line was that there's also a lot of hidden secrets like Quake in this game. So it's very cool to hunt secrets. And there's also a sort of reason to hunt for them, because this game has, instead of quick load and quick save, which I often use in Quake to, sort of save scum if it gets difficult. This game has checkpoints and also a life system. So you have to, you have to search for secrets to find extra lives. And when you die, you respawn at the checkpoint, and everything you killed and picked up is already gone. So, and you also have just guns and everything, and you just respawn at the checkpoint. But if all your lives are down, then you have to restart the whole level. So there is a reason to secret hunt, and I always love secrets in first-person games. And this game also has a flashlight, so sometimes you have to search in dark places to find hidden switches to open doors and stuff like that. But yeah, the first levels were very basic and one-dimensional, and I was like, okay, they could do way more in this game. And I think this game is built. I think they just started with the first level when they built this game, and then they made the second one, and every time they make a new level, they think, oh, maybe I can add this, and maybe I can make it more open, and maybe I can make. And you see, when you play this game, it gets more. Every level gets more complex when you get further, and I think halfway in the game, you get like a very open section with a snow level, which really reminds me of a snow level of GoldenEye, where you have to go very far into the level and sabotage a satellite system, and then go back to a dam to do something there, and so it gets way more complex in the in the later half of the game, which is really cool. The later levels are really nice. What also is really good in this game is the enemy variety. There's a lot of different enemies. There's soldiers, zombies, skeletons, armored knights, which you have a weak point. You have to, and they shoot like energy balls at you. But they walk very slow, but you have to shoot them really in the weak point. There's aliens, there's people with riot shields. You can hit them, but you have to throw a grenade behind them or something. That's really funny when they explode. and there's you see all the gyps flying around, and the riot shield is still standing there, and it folds slowly over. It's just very slapstick. There's also mutants and like Nazi dominatrix woman who were running around, and really crazy enemies. But the fun thing of these enemies is that the AI is quite nice. A lot of boomer shooters, the newer ones, have either the AI is just running straight at you and shooting, or they are like a turret. They're standing still and shoot at you. But in this game, they are also, some are flying, some are just going around in the level, or running away from you, or laying on the ground to duck for your shots and stuff like that. So it was actually quite impressive, these enemies. So yeah, that was great. The weapon variety was great, and you also have, I already spoke of grenades, but you also have, I think, the third level. You find a rat in a trap, and he's trying to get the cheese, and somehow you can talk to that rat. And at that moment, you can, he's called Mr. Rat, and you can talk to him, and you can either save him or get the cheese, and that gets you a 5 health bonus for the rest of the game.
Wow.
But if you save the rat, then he's an item. You can throw the rat at enemies, and he will be stuck at the face of the enemies, and they all get stunned, and then you can kill them easily. It's very, very useful, especially for the guys with the riot shields, for example. You have to throw the rat, and then you can easily walk around them and shoot them in the face. So it's actually a very useful item, and very funny to use the rat all the time. And another cool thing in this game is that it's very focused on headshots, and it has the Unreal Tournament headshot announcer. So if you shoot, like the first, when you shoot a headshot, you hear a little ding, and if you shoot like 5 of them, you hear like headshot, and at one moment, and that fills a bar in the bottom left, and if that's filled, you can go on an homicidal rant, and that's basically bullet time from Max Payne. So you put every 2000s shooter game in this game. It also has a little bit of the Soldier of Fortune. I don't know if you know that game, but it's just so funny. And there's all in the levels, there are all kind of notes everywhere. You can read them, and they're all funny writing, and it made me smile. And especially, well, you can guess who the final boss is. He is so funny. When you meet him and you get to talk with him, it made me laugh so hard. They're doing experiments on your dog because they want to make the ultimate dog, the Uber Hund. So
that's funny.
Well, it's ridiculous, but I had so much fun with this game, and actually I'm replaying it now. I played it. It took me 7 hours to beat it.
Wow!
So it's a pretty hefty game, and and now I'm playing it because it has also a lot of achievements. And I think one achievement is to get 1945 headshots. And that's one.
Nice.
It's still left for me to do.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I have to basically replay the game to get to that number probably. And now I'm only focusing on headshots, and well, it's just a ridiculous game. And also the soundtrack is. Sometimes you have ambient, but when the action starts, then it starts getting like into the metal soundtrack. Mm-hmm. It's like metal with synths or something. And I think also the developer also made this soundtrack, and it's really good. And that's actually what you can buy from him. So the soundtrack is for sale, and so you can sponsor him that way. And it's actually quite well for in-game. It's good. I don't know if I listen it outside of the game. But it's the metal, it gets you hyped up, and sometimes there's even like electronic music because there's also time traveling involved in this game. You beat people from the future, and you also get weapons from the future, and also hear music from the future.
There you go.
It's just a very silly game, and it made me smile so much. It's quite buggy sometimes, this game, but that also was very fun for me because, for example, I used a flamethrower on a dog, and that dog was stuck in his animation frame, but he was walking around, so while on fire. So he was like scootering, like stuck in the animation around the level, and I was laughing so hard when that happened. So stuff like that, it makes me smile. It's also sort of like the jank. It's very good, but there is also game breaking bugs. I noticed people having that, and I also noticed one. I had to restart the level because I couldn't get further. So I think that's the reason this game is free. That it's I think the last 10% of development time he just basically skipped. And he just want to make a very fun, long game, and I don't mind that. That it's a little bit buggy. It's as long as it's not game breaking that I can't play it anymore.
Question: the 4th tag on Steam says permadeath. How does that work, or is that even a thing?
No,
is that just based on the levels? People aren't used to a game.
I think so, but you restart the level. So it happened to me once. I think also a little bit of a bug because maybe not. I was throwing landmines, and it's really sometimes really janky to throw them. Sometimes you just throw them at your own feet, and then you explode. But I also threw landmines on the respawn point, so that was like 3 lives. I was gone. I was just game over because I threw mines everywhere. So I don't know. It was quite janky, but no, it's not the problem. I think levels are maybe 10 minutes long if you know what you're doing. In the first levels, it was quite difficult to get around. I was sometimes very lost because of the labyrinthian nature of the levels. But later they're really open-ended, and you see where to go very quickly. So the level design improved much, and so it doesn't take you long to get back where you were, I think. There's also cool boss fights in this game. There's so much in this game. A lot of people in the Steam forums are questioning why this game is free. Like, why is this game free? And other than the bugs, I don't know why this game is free. I would easily pay like €20 or something for this game.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
I mean, it is a very shiny game. I'm also surprised it's free just based on how pretty it is. And then you said it's 7 hours long. Like, that's wild. That is a hefty, shiny free game. So
and it just feels good. This game feels good. So that may be why I'm so happy with it.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
So, questions.
Oh, I just want to comment. I love it. I didn't know about this game, and this is like speaking to me on so many levels. I love a dumb shooter that just has a fun, campy energy to it. So definitely want to check this out at some point soon. Also, I love old school shooters like this that have the ragdolls and the physics, even when they break like that. Because I like when we used to play Gary's Mod, like when I first got my first gaming PC and stuff, and we just like go and just mess around with the physics. So when the physics get janky, it just adds a little bit of charm. Even if it's like breaks the stage, you have to start over, whatever. It just I love it. Just it's a little more goofy on top of an already sounding goofy game. So yeah, it's speaking to me quite a bit.
And I don't have a comment on the game, but I don't know when else I'm going to say it. What the heck is going on over at Microprose? I'm looking at their developer page, and it's like it's a bunch of stuff you'd expect, like, you know, games that are just called M1A2 Abrams and History Channel Battle of Britain, a bunch of sim games for specific tanks and aircraft. But then there's like this game, there's like a pixel art beat 'em up called Gangs of Asia. It's like Microprose is just like we've got checks. We're cutting them. Who wants a piece?
There's a lot of games on their page.
Yeah, and it's very
crazy. It's really random. Nice. I have to look into that someday. I don't know. What did they do back then? I don't know either, actually.
To me, Microprose is the company that published and or developed games that your friends' dads would play. Like, they were not for me. They were dads that had PCs played Microprose games.
Yep. The war buffs.
Yep, exactly. Well,
they did Civilization and XCOM. So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that game.
Yep. Well, where would you put it? Okay. Where's it landing on the quest log?
I so want to put it on the main quest, but I think the performance issues, the bugs, stuff like that could break this game for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the only reason I should put it on the side quest. The guy, actually, I reported the bug and he responded like an hour later that he was like, okay, I'm looking into it.
Oh, wow.
So he's still working on it. There's like the last update was last month. So maybe those bugs get ironed out. If that's true, then and the performance would be better, then it would be easily a main quest for me. But I think with reason, I should put this in the side quest, I guess. But if you like stupid shooters, which play well, you should check this out. It's really good. It's awesome. Really fun. It made me smile, and I'm trying to get 100% achievements, which I not often do. So
yeah,
let's say something.
And I can say with some confidence, probably a game none of us would have brought. Maybe Josh, but probably a game that was not on any of our radar.
I guess. Yeah. Well, heck yeah. Awesome. I guess it's my turn then here. I'm bringing a game called Darkenstein 3D. No, so, back in 2007, there is a freeware game that released by a guy named Kayan called I Want to Be the Guy. But in 2020, there was something that was released in early access and came out officially in 2023 called I Wanna Maker. Have you guys heard of this?
I have not, but I think I've seen. Well, I shouldn't say anything. I have not. It looks like a level editor for I want to be the guy games,
like Super Mario Maker. Yeah.
Yep. So basically, what this game, the whole entire pitch of this, so the I want to be the guy community made a bunch of fan games. There's like hundreds and thousands of them. They've been on like Summer Games on Quake and stuff. Like they're like a very popular community because they use that engine from that freeware game and made like a bunch of like fan games off of it. The community all got together and created like this dev team called the Elephant Crew, and they made something called I Want a Maker, which is basically, like you guys are saying, Mario Maker, but for I Want to Be the Guy. So what's cool about this game is they developed it over the course of 3 years, just all community, a bunch of people that are just super passionate about this moveset and about the way this game plays and things. And there is a full 7-world campaign inside of this free-to-play maker game.
Nice.
So that's the main thing I played for this episode. But I also messed around with the maker and the tool sets. We'll talk about that probably after I get into the campaign and things here. But this is a fully featured precision platformer. It's I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't beat the game. I'm literally on the last boss, but I've been playing this game for almost 18 hours. So it has a lot of content. So so you start the game. You're the little. I think this is called the guy or the kid or something. The little guy, and you're doing puzzle platforming or platforming stages, similar to I Want to Be the Guy, but honestly with a lot of other elements and ideas kind of mixed in there from like other puzzle like platforming and precision platformers like Super Meat Boy, Celeste. There's a lot of unique and interesting mechanics that get introduced as you play through the campaign. So the campaign's pretty cool because you start out, you're just doing, your basic double jumps, you're avoiding hazards, and then they add vines on the side of blocks that you can, jump up with the vines to get over an area, little blocks of water that kind of stop your fall, and you can jump a few times in the water. And then as you're playing through this campaign, you go through multiple different tile sets. Like there's a bunch of art in this game. Every single world looks a little different, and even the levels inside them will have unique backgrounds and unique looks to them, unique hazards, everything inside of it as well. So the basic look of the game, I guess I should get that out of the way if nobody has seen this. It's a very basic looking pixel art precision platformer. It's kind of what you would imagine if you like fuzzed your eyes and looked at Mario, kind of, I guess. You know what I mean? Like it's very simple looking, but I do think they do a good job with adding a little bit of design flair through all the different visuals in this. So you guys are looking at some screenshots. Any thoughts so far?
Has anyone ever brought I Want to Be the Guy to the quest log?
No, I don't think so. I would love to, though. That game is great.
It is good.
I think we talked about it with Jimmy Hoppa.
Mm-hmm.
That's like coming to mind when we were talking about like old indie games. So like early indie games. I think that was so it has been mentioned at least on the show, but I was trying to remember, like, when did I feel like we talked about this. Did someone bring it? But that was probably it.
Yeah. Have you guys played I Want to Be the Guy? Any of you?
Mm-hmm.
Steve obviously has. Sounds like it.
Oh. If I look at the screenshots, it looks like a lot of these art assets don't belong together or something. Like some look like they be made in Paint, and some look like they made in Photoshop with high resolution textures, and some look very 8-bit. It's really like a mix mash of art styles.
Yeah,
maybe that's also the vibe of the Maker game. That it's like
that's in the spirit of the original. The original game, like he like ripped sprites out of Contra and Mike Tyson's Punch Out and stuff like that, and he also had a bunch of his own art assets that he obviously, as not really an artist, threw together and made them. And so the original game very much has that like scrappy patchwork pieces from all over the place energy to it. So they're obviously trying to be consistent with that, which is cool.
It's a vibe.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a very, very cool look. I actually really like the way it looks. So usually when I play like a platformer, I'm like, so one of my biggest complaints for a lot of platformers is the character is too small on the screen. And the character in this game is small. But I feel like the moveset, once you start getting your like sea legs, I guess, for the game, like you get used to the control set, it's just like second nature. It plays so good. It feels really good. I mean, the original game, I did play the original game back in the day, so 2 decades ago almost. Crazy. It plays pretty much like that, but like a very smoothed out, a modern day feeling version of that, which is what you probably would expect from this.
Does this campaign have the like tongue-in-cheek spikes or apples that fly upwards off of the tree to kill you energy, where the game is like being obviously playfully malicious, or is it more just like difficult puzzle platforming?
So yeah, it does have some of that occasionally. It's not as so the difficulty will be the first thing that raises like alarm bells for people for this, because that's the whole thing for the original. It's a little trolly. Like you have to like, there's a lot of blind jumps and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. This one is more of a thoughtfully designed puzzle, like precision platformer. Like it's more like, think Celeste or Super Meat Boy, where you're doing like select rooms and you're kind of trying to get to the end to get like each area, each world. So there's worlds and then there's levels inside the world. So each level has 3 gems that you can find. So if you find all the gems, it unlocks like a secret world for our secret level for that world. So say we're in the first area, which is kind of like a woodsy looking one, like kind of like basic Mario green hills type look, you know. You do all those, you get all the gems, which are usually like off the beaten path. You have to find like a secret path to get to them, or you have to do a challenging jump like a strawberry from Celeste or something like that, or the bandages from Super Meat Boy. Similar energy there. So each stage will have multiple like screens that you need to go through, and there will be a little save point that you can hit, and there's a gun in this game, so there are various obstacles that you have to shoot. So you just shoot that save point, and then when you die, you'll spawn at that save point each time. So it's like, okay, I can see the next save point's over there. How do I puzzle this out to get across this room, get to that save point, rinse repeat till you beat the stage. But what's cool about this is I can tell it's very thoughtfully made, where the first area and the first worlds, you're going to be like kind of just like blasting through them. If this is your genre and you're used to this style of game, you're just going to be like rocking through. And then it slowly gets a little harder and a little more difficult. And they start adding a little bit more layers and a little extra like movesets that you didn't have before. Like, oh, now you got a little bubble shield. You have to take one hit to jump over here. You know what I mean? Or there's like areas with like a bunch of arrows that are pointing up, and that's going to push you up a little bit more, give you a little bit less gravity in that area, you know, things like that. And by the end of the game, I was still finding new ones in every level I was in. So it's not like they've really run out of ideas. It feels like Super Mario Odyssey or something. Like each stage has a new idea, which is really cool.
Yeah. These communities seem to just be able to get so much out of the games they played. Like I Want to Be the Guy and Kaizo Super Mario is very similar to these, where they have like a core set of tools, and then they'll introduce their own like little novel mechanics, but they just literally do every possible thing they can do with those mechanics.
Well, just like Quake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they do ridiculous things with those as well.
Yeah. So when you get to like the end of one of the worlds, there's a boss fight you'll get to. So it's like, you know, you'll get to like 1B was a boss fight time. And usually these are kind of like a gauntlet of, usually like almost like a bullet hell stage. You got to kind of like dodge a bunch of stuff, shoot the guy. There will be some of the mechanics that were introduced in like that specific world will be part of the boss fight. So you got to keep getting better and better at those. And then if you get hit, you start the boss fight over. But of course, it's like Cuphead, where the boss fights are like a minute and a half. You know, they're very short, but they're like condensed and super challenging. So you just want to keep trying. You just want to get to the end because you got that next wave. Okay, now he shoots bullets this direction. Okay, so I just need to make sure I kind of pay attention to these bullets and try to get some damage in. You know, very basic boss fight stuff, but it's just very satisfying to play. You know, it feels like a big budget, quote unquote, precision platformer. Like it has the juice. It really does. And I just been devouring this like campaign. I've been loving it so much. I'm not much of a secret hunter, but just in these, it's so fun to be like, oh, there's a gem right there. I got to do it. You know, I got to jump over there and get that gem, you know? So it just gets you, you know?
I'm the exact same way with stuff like this.
Yeah.
Is there a reward for getting all the gems?
Yeah, you get a one additional course per world. So I think it's like 8 additional courses altogether. So they are basically the secret, quote unquote, like puzzle, like the more challenging stage, you know, like the negative world or whatever, you know, of that world, where it's like, okay, we're gonna ramp up the difficulty because you did all this work, but you know, you'll feel satisfied because this level's really cool and unique compared to the other ones. So, I love the main thing is really good. Like the campaign, it's like it's fully fledged, and then it has a lot of really good music in it. It has so the actual like design, the maker part of it is how they made the campaign. And inside of that maker, they have 160 plus songs from tons of artists, like so many artists. So the campaign is just basically like, here are all the bangers from this huge soundtrack. You know what I mean? So every single level is just banger after banger after banger, all these songs. So, and like, I'm always surprised, like, oh yeah, I'm on world 5, so how different can it be? It's like, no, we're kind of like, this is a whole new tile set. This is a whole new mechanic. This is a whole new look to it and a whole new feel. And it just really, like, it plays with your expectations so many times. So there's that whole element to this game. That's basically a game in and of itself. And then you go over to the maker
that's
side.
Actually, that's how I played Super Mario Maker 2. I just played the levels, the pre-made levels, and that's it. I never did anything of the other stuff. So if that's already cool, then that's the thing I would play.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is like I said, a lot of people worry about the difficulty, and like, I want to be the guy like, oh, it's too hard for me. I think that if you have some puzzle, you know, I keep saying puzzle platformer because it has that element to it a lot of times with the way it's designed. But if you have that precision platformer bone in your body, that splatformer bone in your body, you're going to like this game, at least at the bare minimum. You're going to have a good time for the first, you know, at least the first 4 out of 6.5. I think it's like 7-ish worlds. I don't want to spoil too much. There's they do some kind of cool things at the end. But as you go, you're just as you get that moveset and you get that muscle memory, they just twist it just a little bit. They just add just that next new thing that makes you want to keep playing, see what's next. So, I mean, that's what you expect from this. So, it's up there with some of the best ones I've played in the genre already. So, go to the maker side. There is a community of like 300,000 levels, of course, because, you know, everybody's making, and their mom's making a level. So they do have some ways they filter it by like favorites and, you know, some featured ones. They feature ones weekly and stuff, the community does. So I was kind of digging into some of those, and they were taking a lot of the stuff I saw in the campaign, kind of twisting it on its head. And it's just more of that. You know, you can just basically play this forever if you wanted to. And then I went into the creator, and I'm like, this creator is just so dense. I have a list of, they have 90 plus objects in the game, 40 plus tile sets, 25 plus backgrounds, 40 plus props, 160 plus songs, custom events that you can trigger, and multiple room styles and rooms that you can set up. So it's just the biggest creation suite for like a level creator I've personally seen. It's definitely bigger than Mario Maker 2. It's in those games, but you can see the inspiration from them because like the menus kind of look a little bit like Mario Maker. Like it's like we got Mario Maker at home, you know, a little bit, but it's very intuitive, especially on PC, because a lot of the items you can literally just take the corners and like Photoshop style, just drag and drop and make them bigger and smaller and twist them around and just do what you want with everything. And it's just a very open and like dense creator. And I'm like, I don't know if I have it in me to make levels in this, but it's really cool that this exists, you know?
Can you import your own custom assets? I'm assuming because this is on Steam, they're keeping it above board, and so unlike I Want to Be the Guy or I Want to Be the Boshi, you're probably not going to have boss fights against like Hello Kitty, but can you import stuff on your own, or are you locked to what's in the editor?
I didn't see that in there, but I don't want to say no because I didn't get that deep, but I'm sure there's ways. There's ways, but I think that the ones you share like on their like online network thing will be like the actual assets they have in the game. I don't think you can pick and choose.
To keep it on Steam, so. I'm sure they have to avoid copyright material on there. So I didn't know if they had any like wink wink nudge nudge like go over to our website over here if you want to see the nasty games.
I mean, they do like they really like tout, hey, here's the the fan page, and if you go to the fan page, then there's those questionable ones. I don't think this has any of that really in it.
All right.
But it's like it just has so much in it that it's like you are going to find something cool every time you click in there. I saw an FPS game. I don't know how they made it work, but it was really kind of janky in this engine, but they made an FPS game in there, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I have no idea how you would even manage to do that, but it's somewhat worked, you know. So, yeah. So all that together just makes like this really robust game that's absolutely free. There's nothing, no paid anything. Another thing you do unlock if you get all the gems, which I haven't done, is you do get some cosmetic for the little guy character to like put like hats and stuff on it, you know, like just to customize a little bit. I just did it has a cape, so I just did yellow cape, red shirt, blue pants. I'm like, okay, it kind of looks like Mario. Let's go. You know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah. This is such a cool game. This one really surprised me. I just wanted to tinker with it, and then I saw, it has a campaign, and I was like, well, how long can a campaign really be in one of these, like a free fan game like this? But it's surprisingly dense, and it's legit. I would have paid 20, like Wiedo was saying about his game. I would play $20-$30 for this, and I would have just been like, hey, that's definitely worth the price. So for free, you cannot beat that. So. All right, I think that's all I have for I Want a Maker. Any questions or comments before I put on the quest log?
My only comment is you three all brought meat on this free game episode. Like some real meat. And I was like, yeah, I brought an hour game. I thought that's what we were all going to bring, and that is not what happened at all.
My question for this game should be like, how hard is it to make a level, and is there documentation or something somewhere to look into it? Because I would see my son making crazy levels in this or something. He thinks he wants to be a game designer, but it's very hard to get started with that. And maybe he loves Celeste, for example. So I think he would be very into this. But I wonder if he could get started with the Maker. But you say it's similar as Super Mario Maker?
Yeah, the Maker is like has a little tutorial in there, so it actually kind of holds your hand a little bit just to get you started, and then it's like have fun. You know what I mean? Go build some stuff. You know, so yeah, it's very once you get like it's very easy to use, but deep when you start diving deeper into like all the little things and that you can adjust and change about it. And like I said, there's so many different mechanics. Like I barely even scratched the surface. There's like parachutes you grab and you can go a little slower. There's like triggers and switches and like things that blow up if you touch them, or have a timer when you hit it and you have to go around. You also have like a teleporter that like bounces on walls that you have to like that you can time. It's like there's just so many details in this game. So it's like it's really infinite for people who like to create like unique worlds, you know, and unique levels. So
And do you know if you can also make a sequence of levels?
Yes, you can make like little worlds. Yeah. Cool. You can make your own like a mini like world, I guess, like up to like 6 stages, I think it is, or something like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a really neat game, really unique. So there's no more questions. I think this is obvious. I sound pretty hype. I am Joshy main quest as it is. So it's main quest for I Want a Maker on this one. Yeah, because like, so this one was one I was like, oh, I'm going to try it out. The Maker part would be probably pretty cool. This is probably going to be a pretty solid side quest. But the more I dove into that campaign and the more I saw how deep and just how much is in this game, I was like, if you're a precision platformer fan, download this thing, tinker with it, try that campaign out with. You're going to have a blast. And it's very deep, and it's a full-fledged game in there with just a lot of extra stuff that you can tinker with, make your own levels, and jump into the online ones. There's like, you can jump into online lobbies and like play with other people that are playing online. It wasn't super busy, I'll be honest. I only saw a few people in there. It's maybe not the most popular game out there. But you know, it's cool. I saw a few people jumping around in stages with me as I was exploring the created levels. And then also you can turn on, for the created levels, you can turn on ghosts, kind of like Super Meat Boy. When you die, you can see all your bodies dying in all the ways you jumped and stuff, which is always fun to see. So
Yeah.
it just has a little bit of that. It just has that little attention to detail. It plays really well. There's the mechanics of the actual platforming do take some time to get used to, because if you jump off the edge of a platform, sometimes you do like a faster sideways jump. So you have to make sure to be intentional and jump up before you jump over for the double jump that's in the game. So if you, at first, you'll be like kind of like hopping and not getting that double jump if you don't know that. So just know that going in, and then once you get that feel down, you won't make that mistake again, really. I think that's more used for like speed running. Like they just jump real fast across platforms and stuff. When you're just playing the game, like me trying to get through these stages, you're not going to use that as much, but it's in there. The tech's in there, for people who are the sickos, so yeah. Great little game.
My favorite thing about this type of maker is when, like, it's obviously a precision platformer. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. But when somebody takes it and they're like, no, we're going to make it a puzzle platformer. And so they will design their levels to be more intentional. Like, that's what I like, when people can think outside the box and make it what they want, right? Which is cool.
You are Josh, you main quest, but I will say I'm glad you main quested it, because it would be a bad look if we did a free game episode and side quested every single game.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Be like, why don't you guys try a little harder? Your free labor's not enough.
Then I would retroactively main quested my game.
But Steve, you should check this out. I think you'd love it.
Oh, I added it to my library. I'm already salivating a little bit. No idea this existed.
You're gonna dig it.
I the only thing which holds me back is the graphics. It looks quite garish or something. I don't know how to call it, but like maybe like a patchwork. Yeah, I don't know. But probably when you're playing it, it's another vibe. It's just
it's charming because of the way it does look unique in that way, where it's kind of like looks patchworky. It's charming, but once you start playing, you're like, yeah, it's just fun to play. You're not going to be thinking too much about that part of it. But cool. The songs are so damn good, man. The soundtrack. This is one of my favorite soundtracks I've listened to this year, because like every song is just bangers, and like I said, there's so many tracks. So.
Is that in-game music, or is it like in the engine, or is it just MP3s playing?
It's just like MP3s. They got like a big, like, it's all mostly just like synthy style. Like you can imagine what it sounds like high energy synth music for the most part. But they also do some chiptune songs. Like there's an icy area with some chiptuney icy themes, that are really, really good. So so. They do a good job with the variety, which I think that's kind of the whole idea of the game anyway. So, yeah, check it out. I Want to Make Her. So I'll go through every game. Might as well. We got Octogram, side quest, cool little word puzzle game. We got Phantom Feline, which is a Game Boy-styled puzzle platformer. And we got Darkenstein 3D, which is kind of like a spoofy, parody, Wolfenstein-style game. And then we got I Want to Make Her, which is of like a building suite / puzzle platformer. I keep saying puzzle platformer. Precision puzzle platformer, I guess I'll say. But yeah, with a lot of cool things to check out. So we do have campfire chats here. If we want to talk a little bit about that. I wanted to shout out Huge Muffin, because Steve, was that last episode you're like, I'll give you guys a handwritten note if you play every game. And the quest log.
Yeah, he's going for it. Like dude dove into action immediately. He's like, all right, cracks his knuckles, and suddenly 9 quest log beats show up.
This episode is going to make his soul hurt a little bit, though. Like, this episode alone, a free game episode, just added who knows how many hours because of Steve's game.
He can play mine in the loading screens of other games, so he can do some doubling up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mine's the last few stages, they get pretty tough. Like like I said, I was just playing it right before the podcast, and I'm like, this last boss is kind of kicking my ass a little bit, but I know I can beat it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It's just the repetition and learning the little patterns and things. So yeah, he's gonna have a good time with that one.
How long to beat has it listed for? 8.5 hours to beat.
8.5. Yeah. I was going for some secrets and stuff. That's why it took me a while.
Sense.
Yeah. Probably it's a little idle time too, probably in there, like an hour or two. But yeah, you know how it is. So
100%.
All right. We do have an audio comment from Go Hobo Go. So I did put the link here so we can all try to play this and listen to this if it works. Let me know if it doesn't.
Another excellent episode, boys. Ross did a fantastic job as guest host. Love his input. I have to say that I did stop a little early because I haven't played Hades yet. It was a little too popular and driven for a while that I felt like it would never live up to expectations. But I wanted to let you know that you boys gave me the confidence to maybe give it a try. Of course, not streaming it because I don't want to be yelled at for being terrible at the game, but at least I might give it a try off stream sometime. So keep up the good work. Loved it. And have Ross back because he was fucking amazing. Love you guys.
Well, you should probably play Hades. It's a good game, Chad.
Yeah.
I think you'd like it.
It's pretty fantastic. You should
I haven't played it either.
Oh.
I do own it, of course, but I haven't played it.
It's hard to find a gamer that doesn't own it, I suppose, at this point.
The only game I played from Supergiant is Pyre. Transistor, sorry.
Transistor. I was going to say, you played Pyre? That's like the more unique one out of all of them.
I was going to get really excited, yeah.
I sort of gravitate more to Pyre because of that, I guess. Because I think the same reason as Go Hobo Go says, it's sort of Hades was too popular or something that you sort of think, okay, maybe it's. I don't want to have an opinion on it or something,
right?
Because maybe it's a bad opinion. I sometimes have those. You maybe noticed in the Discord. And also roguelikes are. You have to be in a sort of headspace to dive into a roguelike because that can take a lot of hours if you're bad at it. So sometimes it gets frustrating and then you just don't want to play roguelikes. And for me, there are really more miss than hit when I play roguelikes. So that's maybe also why I'm a little bit afraid of Hades.
You do got to be in the right frame of mind. People... not calling anybody out, but people in our Discord will be like, I didn't like the structure of Hades where you had to do multiple loops. And I'm like, sounds like you were in the mood for a roguelike, a genre defined by multiple runs. So it's like playing a rhythm game and being like, can't believe I had to try the songs multiple times before I could pass them. It's like, what did you think this was going in?
Yeah.
Anyways. Go Hobo Go, thank you for the kind words. We probably,
yes, thank you.
No promises, but we did sort of vaguely threaten Ross that maybe he should/needs to play Hades 2 for if and when that episode comes around. No promises, but we'll try. He's a busy guy, you saw how good he did on our podcast. He's getting invited to podcasts left and right. He's so popular.
He's so popular. It's funny. I think he's out fishing or something right now.
Yeah,
as
or playing hockey or something.
Most of them.
Yep. But we appreciate it, Chad. I can read this next one if you want.
Oh, okay.
We got one from the town of Ann Arbor, Michigan. So thank you, Ann Arbor. A lot of IndieQuest fans there. Says, hey guys, I have a free game recommendation for your next episode. Red Rogue is a rare example of the old time only moves when you do mechanic. I found it on Newgrounds years ago, and I'm still trying to beat it. It's the perfect blend of simplicity, depth, and unforgiving difficulty. Dev lets you download it for free on redrogue.net, and I made a Steam Deck community controller layout for it. Well, there you go, folks. Redrogue.net. Go. Enjoy. Play it. It's quite bloody. It's pixel arty, but
maybe a sort of 2D super hot or something.
Something like
that's what it sounds like,
But that's cool. Always appreciate a good recommendation.
Cool. Especially a topical one. Like getting it in before the buzzer for the free game episode's perfect. It's like we brought 5 games, I suppose, this time. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I Google Red Rogue and I've just seen a bunch of red Nissan Rogues. What a car.
That's so funny. That is certainly not free, but the opposite of.
That's like Josh, earlier you mentioned the game Lingo that you shared with me. I tried to just Google the word lingo. Turns out you got to be more specific in your Google. Lingo has other meanings as well.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for our show, I think, today. So, Wiedo, why don't you plug everything you do on the internet?
The best thing is to just go to wiedo.nl. That's WIEDO.nl. And there's all my social links. There's a link to my itch.io page where you can find my free games list. There's a link to a New Game Old Flame podcast. And my Blue Sky and my Pixel Fed, which is a sort of Instagram where I post my photography occasionally, and not much, but if I have a cool photo, and I post it there. So yeah,
awesome. You can find our show at IndieQuest Pod on Blue Sky. You can also send us emails, IndieQuestPod@gmail.com. And hey, you heard Go Hobo Go's voice on the podcast, so you can do that as well. If you click that fan mail button at the top of the descriptions, you can leave us a text message, which was the text comment was from that as well. So you can leave us a text message like that, or you can leave us an audio message like Go Hobo Go did, if I can speak. And Steve, where can they find you on the internet?
Twitch and Blue Sky as Blinkoom. What about you, Seth?
You can find me at Captain Drachma on Blue Sky, and of course in the Polymedia Discord, best place on the internet. And if you want to get in that Discord, head over to Patreon, search up Polymedia, jump into the tier that gets you in the Discord. Come and chat with all four of us, Wiedo as well. Josh, where can they find you?
You can find me, Josh Leslie, on Blue Sky. And you can find my other podcast, The Monthly Mishap, I do with our buddy Scotch and Hobbies. A new episode will be coming out 2 days after this one launches. So be on the lookout for that. We talk about a couple of crazy, gory Japanese movies and Star Trek The Next Generation. So kind of a cool little mix there. Check that out. Well, I think that's going to do it for our show today. Wiedo, why don't you close us out with some good parting words for the folks out there?
Okay, I guess we talked about a lot of cool free adventures in games, but don't forget there's also very cool free adventures outside on the bike, which I super like, or we're walking in a park or something. Don't forget to get some sunlight sometime. And I hope I speak to you soon in the Discord. See ya.
Peace.